And yes, we are back. Shoutouts to us for making it back. I don't know why I did that. I'm so tired, bro. I did legs today, and I'm trying to improve my form, and I did like at least 100 reps, and bro, I am so it's just tired. And if you're having with Diablo withdrawals, honestly, going to the gym helps because you literally can do something for an hour and then just like come home. You probably don't even want to play games in the first place. Like you honest, like I don't see a lot of people playing games unless it's single player games in this time period. Because playing Diablo 4 does something to you, bro. It does something to you. I think it was because it was so new and all that. So that's why we're just we're itching for it, bro. We're itching for it. But this is like the little tidbit at the table. Like this is our little nah, because we can't play the game yet. But this is like all we can do. So we can watch Diablo 4, new dev updates, the post beta deep dive, PvP. I don't care about PvP. PC graphics updates and missing feature. So us watching this together is like the only way you can like pseudo soothe those Diablo 4 withdrawals with your boy. Your boy. Me, I'm your boy. Kexis. Let's go right into it. Sit back. Get your food ready. Eat. Let's go.
So yeah, you're probably wondering where in the world is that Diablo 4 promised post-beta deep dive from Blizzard?
Nope,
Well,
I'm
I
not
have an
wondering that at
actual
all.
official
I
update
just want to play the
about
game.
that one today, plus new questions about PvP and PC issues answered by the dev team, and we've got an even further in-depth clarification about legendary weapons and gear in the full version of the game. Also, some fans noticed.
Okay, I also just want to say this by kind of like agreeing to watch these videos with me, react to them, we are going to like each video is going to just add a bit more expectation, and doing this can ruin the game experience. I just want to let you guys know this. So if you actually want to go into it with not knowing anything, I don't even recommend partaking in this. Like the viewing of these videos, they don't really do anything. They just make you want more. So I'm just throwing it out there. Want to be surprised, which I recommend, because too much overstimulus to videos that really don't amount to much can just make you crave something more, and then when you get the game, you're gonna like not like it significantly less because it's not what you thought it was gonna be. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't care because I have ways to go around that. I'm just letting you know.
There's some things missing or that have changed since the quarterly update from December 2020. Will these features make it into the game or not? And don't miss out on the PS5, Xbox Series X, and Switch giveaway. You can find out more about that for my subscribers only in the pinned comment down below. So, Robbie, please do tell me more about this post-beta deep dive we're getting from Blizzard. Here is the official word from Rod Ferguson himself. He says this: we're going through all of your feedback. We'll have an update in a couple of weeks about what we've heard and what we're addressing. Thanks for helping to test the beta and your patience as we work through the issue. So yeah, it's going to be a couple of weeks. They really don't want to rush this out. They want to make sure, of course, that they make the right.
I mean, of course. Do you want to deep dive? It's only been like 3 days. There is nothing to deep dive into. The developer's experience is not the same as people lurking Reddit, watching streams, watching YouTube videos, reading comments. Their perspective is totally different. Their scopes are on different things. There's a lot of cogs in the machine. They have to have meetings. They have to, break all this information down. So a couple weeks is better than, just rushing it out as soon as possible.
Like decisions, and there's a lot of feedback to get through, of course, between YouTubers. There's a forum they have to get through, Twitter posts, all sorts of stuff that they have to dissect. They really want to make sure they make the right decisions for what could potentially be changing for the launch.
Please don't go to Reddit. That's all I can say, bro. Do not go to Reddit. Just don't. We'll be good. Don't go to Reddit.
Dang. All right, let's get into further questions and replies from the dev team here. So this one is an interesting one. It says, about Diablo 4 beta on PC, I noticed that the black level of HDR is highly elevated and needs to be addressed. Also, to
What?
provide anything extra graphics on
Black
PC
level.
from the beta at launch. What a great question. Some of you also noticed these issues. Adam Fletcher, the community manager of Diablo 4, says this: graphics engineers have some things for HDR prior to launch that aren't implemented that will address most of the issues we saw. We will have more details on
Hmm.
PC graphics settings in a blog prior to launch. So, yeah, as well as the deep dive, we're going to have something specific to PC as well. So, it's good to note they aren't neglecting the PC side of things because, again, in my video from yesterday, we heard from like Forbes that they had a better experience on console, at least according to
Forbes.
their friends. So yeah, let me know how your experience has
Forbes
been if
friends.
you got the chance to play the beta both on consoles versus PC. I'm kind of curious. Now, Leonardo goes on to ask this. Also, with PvP back, how does Blizzard see Diablo 4 fitting into the esports world, or not at all?
Esports.
Wondering, given equipment
No.
gear really plays a role, that is not a typical variable for other esports in the scene today.
Okay. I'm willing to admit I've watched competitive Path of Exile racing. It actually is pretty entertaining, but it's only entertaining because of the commentary. Watching someone level isn't all that cool, but the commentary and the dynamicness of how it was interacting made it kind of interesting until someone pulls so far ahead and you're just like, okay, well, we know who won. But it, I mean, if it's going to be like it's probably going to be race to see who can level the fastest or something, maybe, or get the most kills. I don't know. It could be interesting, but you have to have interesting commentary. Hey, hey, I might get on some Diablo for commentary. I don't know what, just to talk shit about someone, make it kind of funny, like haha, your rogue is sucky, but not that sucky.
Great question. Are we going to be seeing huge esports tournaments in the future? And Rod Ferguson goes on to say this: we have no plans
Oh,
to
that's even
support
better.
esports.
Thank you.
I don't know if that's a big deal to you at all, but for me, not so much whatsoever. Now, Jimmy Love goes on to say this: hopefully, I'll be able to leave out of Eastgate when the full game releases, since it was still an issue during the open beta. I can sense the frustration. Adam Fletcher goes on to confirm
He
it
doesn't
is
have
a
to
common
respond,
issue and it will
but he
be
did.
addressed.
I respect that.
So, hopefully, eventually, in time after launch, we won't be dealing with these invisible, weird walls that we're feeling like we're pushing through just to get out of town. Because many, many times I couldn't get out of town at all.
I didn't have that problem with getting out of town. I had that problem when I was trying to go do the Rogues 15 level 15 quest. I was like, why is this bubble here? Does it mean I can't do something right at the moment? And then I went to do something else and I came back and it was gone. So I wonder I wonder if it's even fixable. I wonder if it will be so reoccurring that they're just like, okay, we'll just do offline mode.
I had to actually fast travel to another waypoint just to even move on. So
Mm.
that was definitely an issue. Now, Joseph Papire had some things to say about legendary powers existing beyond our beta experience, and there was good indication that there's going to be a lot more stuff here.
Of course
Now,
there
I'm going to
is.
get into the reply.
Well,
It
I won't
goes
say
into
that.
further in-depth details than what we saw yesterday, so stay with me here. Some of you missed this. It says, I don't think folks realize how many more legendary powers exist beyond what was on display during the Diablo 4 beta. There is a lot of bizarre, exciting, and totally balanced legendaries
Didn't
to
we see this
discover when the
yesterday?
game goes live in June. We'll see if they're balanced. It's always a thing. Find out for ourselves. Now, of course, we have a reply here. It says,
Oh,
slightly
it's a reply.
confused. Do you mean that the beta didn't show us the other legendary powers on the list, or that we just didn't get access to them because they weren't set to have a drop rate in the beta, but they still existed in the aspect list? Great question.
That is a good question. Like, I wonder, did we get every legendary? Not we, but did every legendary that could drop, did it drop? Or did we just. That's not a good question. That's just a weird question. Like, it's a beta. Why would you even ask that question? But in his defense, like I said, I wish they would have, you know, dropped I mean, not drop, but showcase some of these apparently these unique legendaries. I wish they would have dropped something to actually show, like, oh, so it could be like this, and then like give us something to. But they'll probably do it closer to launch for more hype purposes.
Drop rate in the beta, but they still existed in the aspect list? Great question. Joseph follows up
Great question.
saying this: the Codex of Power contains less than half of all the possible legendary powers that can be found in Diablo 4. Plenty more legendary powers can be found later in the game experience. So, there's a lot of cool stuff, apparently, that we have not even seen or heard about or discovered, which honestly does get me excited. I'm curious to see what awaits us. All right, so moving on, someone noticed something interesting. What seems to be like missing features from the beta from this right here. Check it out. It says, beta differences from the Diablo 4 quarterly update December 2020. The December 2020 quarterly update was the one piece of dev insights that had me the most hyped for the design direction of the game. All item tiers were relevant, skills had upgrades that would trigger attribute breakpoints, and so much more. After playing the beta, I feel like some of these were scrapped. I'm not really sure because I didn't try to account for all the differences. I'm wondering if others saw differences, and also wondering if the devs have made any statements about departures from these original ideas, especially the stat breakpoints on skills. That was the most exciting feature by far. I was
What is the stat breakpoint? I don't know what that means.
By one person on this Reddit that those are on the Paragon boards, but others have disputed that, so I'm not sure what to believe. All right, so let's get into this further, shall we? So here's some examples of what was displayed during the quarterly update in 2020, and this has changed quite a bit.
Oh.
So yeah, it used to be at like 140 willpower, as you could see. Ice Blades deal additional damage to frozen targets. So if you hit a certain requirement...
Wait. It's on the right side. 140 Ice Blades deal additional damage. Oh, stat break. So if you have another stat, that's actually kind of cool. Cause nice. So you could just have one skill that's just like crazy, all your strength, and get the most out of that skill. Well, if they want it to be like that, but that's interesting.
Additional damage to frozen targets. So
That's kind of cool. I like it.
A certain requirement in your attributes, it would allow you to unlock further upgrades for specific
That's cool.
skills. Here is another example for whirlwind upgrades. Now, this is...
Oh, this is exactly what I was talking about. Just something... Dang. All right, hold on. Whirlwind no longer slows the barbarian's movement speed. Whoa. Whirlwind provides a 3% movement speed boost for each second while active, stacking up to 15%. Okay, that's the reason I really didn't like Whirlwind, because I was like, why is it slowing me? After playing Cyclone on Path of Exile, no, I want to go fast. Anything that can facilitate me going fast with Whirlwind, I'm gonna do it. I don't care how dangerous it is. I don't care if it's basically suicide. If I can make it work and go fast and be optimal, I'm going to attempt to do it. And then we have Whirlwind critical strike damage increased by 10%. Whirlwind provides 1% critical strike damage per second while active, stacking up to 20%. Nice. That's cool.
System is not in place right now, and it appears that a lot of it has moved into the Paragon boards. And that makes sense for the end game. And there's a lot of redundancy here. I think that was the overall issue, because already with our skill tree, invest into passives a lot, actually. And we upgrade it like 5 out of 5. In some cases, you can kind of go in overdrive mode with some of these skills, depending on the gear you have, and go 6 out of 5 and even 7 out of 5.
Yeah, I had 6 out of 5 on my core skills. I think, 7 out of 5. Imagine 10 out of 5. I feel like if you do 10 out of 5, it just becomes so just broken. If you can get 10 out of 5 and a stat break, oh my gosh, that skill should be lit. That should be the goal.
In certain cases. Let's get into some replies
10 out of 10
here.
whirlwind, bro. 10 out of 5 whirlwind.
So we have the real Dewey, who says a lot of hate on the Paragon boards and skill levels being just passive upgrades, but these breakpoints look more like automatic givens at certain gear levels. It's not like we have limited attributes that we distribute ourselves that would do meaningful decisions in the long run. Many might have just been converted into the branching skills and passives we see in the tree currently. It's possible they playtested this and found that while the concept might have been interesting, maybe it conflicted with other design themes, or maybe they found that in practice it didn't feel good or
This is a reasonable comment. I know I slammed Reddit earlier, but you can find reasonable people on this on Reddit, subreddit, game forums. And if you hear barking, it's my roommate's dog. But you can find useful conversation from time to time. It's just like difficult because most people are just angry and they don't want to have meaningful conversation. They just want to complain.
impactful. And I'm wondering if some of this stuff also, I'm kind of curious if it moved into some of the gear systems, into the weapons themselves. I hate to say it, as kind of like a filler content,
Hmm.
but that's what I'm kind of thinking as well. Now, Professor Knox goes on to say this right here. Yep, those breakpoints were done very poorly. They're not only binary, which can be fine, but they create a pattern whereby you can't mix and match at all, as you're incentivized to go all in
Oh,
one
okay, I
way
can see
or the
that.
other. Under their model, if Whirlwind is always a strength dex build, then you just have a system that forces the player's hand. Not only do Whirlwind barbs, end up having to go strength dex, but they also likely only ever take other skills that are 100% strength dex. It was trying to capture the breakpoints of Diablo 2, but failed to realize how it was just replicating the all-in stat dump problem / shrug. So that's also an excellent point
Hmm.
right there. I think they wanted more freedom in the skill tree, and for me, it makes a lot more.
If they did want more freedom in the skill tree, all for them. But I don't think the what he's saying is per se bad, because there's as long as there's other variations. I think as long as there's variations, that's important. Yes, if it what you want is locked behind strength dex, I mean you don't have to go it. It's just I don't know. I would say there's obviously going to be conflict with what a player wants and what the game wants you to do, or for balance purposes or whatever. They're obviously gonna cross at some point. And if it's a good, I don't know, it's a beta. I don't know. I gotta get my hands on it.
More sense to do it the way they're doing it now with the Paragon board, so that I suppose you're not constantly respecking, and I think it would make the game a little bit more difficult with building your character to become, godlike or OP. All right, so this is really fascinating. Did you know this right here? It says, do you realize the Necro minion abilities weren't passive, right?
Huh?
So, from the number of people I see complaining about the Necromancer needing hotbar buttons for their skeletons and Golem, I honestly have to ask, you did realize that these were not passive abilities and that they were both quite important in your rotations, right? Skeletons, when you were full, would raise a skeleton priest to heal and buff the damage of your skellies.
Dang.
Golem was the taunt button to get stuff to target your meat shield instead of you or the skellies. These were both important active use abilities that any minion mancer should want to be using, not complaining about the waste of hotbar space. Yeah, I had a tough time with that as well, that
Hmm.
there wasn't enough space on my hotbar to even have both skellies and golem running at the same time. Or you can go with that sort of build, but I myself want either or. But yeah, great point, because I eventually discovered this myself. I was like, oh, wait a second. These are actually active abilities, and I really, really began to take note. So I thought I would highlight that here. I think it would help you all out. All right, so let's get into your top
I've always wondered, isn't the limited slot I wonder what if you had a game with like unlimited slots? Would it make the game better? Because you still have limited points. Like I don't know. I don't know. Because the game gives you, because you can roll gear that has like plus wanting all the skills, but you obviously can't have all the skills. But like, what if you could have all the skills, even though it's level one? I think it's something they should look into.
Comments from my previous video. Remember to leave a comment down below. And also check out that
I mean, if
PS5,
you can use it, if
Xbox
you can
Series
use
X,
10 skills
and
in your
Switch
build,
giveaway in the pinned
props
comment
to you.
down
If you can use
below
20
to learn
skills,
more for my subscribers only. So what was my most recent video about? It's about this one right here. Only 66.6 days left. Devs give new updates on what's changing and what's next. Check it out if you missed it. So let's get into
we did
your
not miss it.
replies, shall we? So we have this one from MJ who says, a better look for the necro skeletons definitely sounds like something they would sell as a cosmetic. Oh boy.
That's true.
Very good point.
That's a very true point.
Maybe that is the devious tactic.
That's a good.
Yeah, I just think it would be cool to have a bit more options for the skellies, though. Man, they're probably gonna put it on the battle pass. You're probably right about that one. So okay,
Yeah, I didn't think about
this
that.
one right here. Custom Future says this. Beta was great, and I had so much fun. Super excited for its release in June. Dude, it's the one game I constantly think about. I'm having the Diablo 4 beta withdrawals big time.
Fortunately, we are not in withdrawal phase. I said I had legs today. That forced me out of having withdrawal for anything. I am exhausted. So
I
tired.
just want to hop in and upgrade my Necro even more. Dustin goes on to say this, great vid. I agree with the unpopular opinion. I haven't tried Necro or Sorcerer, but from what I hear, they made the game too easy. I played Druid only and had a blast experimenting with my builds and struggling through some of it. The parts where I struggled made me focus more on refining my build, choosing my gear, and adjusting my play.
I agree.
Yeah,
I did
I'm
have
kind
to
of on the
adjust
fence
my.
about this.
Well, I had to adjust my play, but I. It was kind of frustrating that I had a build in mind. It was just like it was not working. I was like, bro, why is poison not working? But it did make me think a little harder and make me a better like builder, if that has any merit or skill.
I do want a challenge, though. I am going to say that. And I felt like the Necro was way too OP, practically godlike. I barely am healing. As you can see right here, I hardly have to use any of my potions. Like, what's the point of getting the 5 out of 5 potions, getting the renown, doing the work? You know what I mean? It's kind of strange. There is definitely a balancing issue. My biggest worry is that they do begin nerfing stuff, Necro and the Sorcerer, and people are like, I miss
Can you imagine playing PvP against Necro? Come on, bro. That'd be so annoying.
my OP Necro, you know? So I'm curious to see how people
It would probably be annoying for
respond
everyone.
to
Everyone has like
potential
annoying
nerfs
stuff.
in the future.
Hmm.
Blizzard is kind of walking this tightrope when it comes to balancing in the future. Now, the Mushin says this, there were already legendary effects that affect evade in the beta, at least one for the rogue that made you drop stun grenades whenever you evade or use.
That's lit.
Step. Yeah, you know, I was playing with my twin bro Ryan. He was showcasing that to me. I'm like, oh my god, that is so cool, dude.
That
I
is
cannot
so
wait
cool.
to go further in depth with the rogue in particular. So yeah,
Dang.
that is really, really cool that there's systems in place that actually affect your movement in some way. I hope it gets kind of even more insane,
Crazy.
over the top.
Let me
as we
attack with
go.
my
So
evade,
we'll see
bro.
what they have in here.
Or when you evade, you cast your core spell. Oh my gosh, that would be so lit, bro. Bro.
Now, Jake says the open beta was the first Diablo game I've ever touched, and I was shocked by how fun it was. The small amount of campaign and side missions we got were enjoyable. I know that some of the more experienced players probably have a ton of problems with the game and have way more complaints, but as a noob, I had a blast and have high hopes for the full launch. It's going to be a whole wait and see thing when it comes to the launch.
I agree.
You guys may remember how Diablo 3 launched. I'm hoping that they learned a lot from that. And of course, this recent beta experience. I was pretty impressed with how quickly they recovered the servers and got things up and running and working.
You won't be.
Launch, and
Day 4, baby.
I think
You
we will
won't
all
be.
have to be a little bit patient on
You
those
won't
first
be.
few days with this game, especially the first few days, until things kind of like mellow out with the servers. But it seems like they're battle tested, they're ready for launch, and it's going to be up to them to really make sure that everything goes smoothly. Well, thank you all so much for the comments and all the love and support on the recent Diablo 4 videos. I'm kind of shocked and blown away by that, by the way. So thank you so much for watching and tuning in. I genuinely hope that you guys have been enjoying the videos. I know I've been enjoying making them because I really, really have been enjoying playing this game. And I know it's rough not being able to just turn on your PC or console and
Rough.
be like, hey, I'm going to play some Diablo or open beta. Yeah,
No, you're not.
the withdrawals are very real. So hopefully these videos help you out in the meantime. But thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned for more. Have you guys covered on all things Diablo 4 and open world gaming goodness. And I will see you all next time. Take care.
Nice video. I like this guy. This guy is going to be our way to getting through this. I'm not going to say painstakingly. I'm actually happy that there's, time. Because like I said, we all know the game will release how it's going to release, and the good changes won't either they're going to be in season 1 or it won't be until the winter when it's like, okay, now Diablo 4 is the game I always wanted. So just give it some time to let it cook. Let it cook. But yeah, we're good. Nice video. I'm gonna like it. I'm going to subscribe out of respect. He's making my life easier. I like what he does. Hey. And yeah, that's the video. So you know what time it is, bro. Tell someone you appreciate them. Tell someone you love them. It's good to pass that along. I appreciate you guys watching. And yeah, take care. Have a good night. And if you do legs, bro, I respect, bro. I respect anyone who can do legs, bro. It's not easy. Peace.